Hi everyone, and welcome to the first in our 4-part series of chair yoga. My name is Dunniece and I'm a yoga and relaxation teacher based here in Cork, and I'm thrilled to be sharing these 4 sessions with you. So over the course of the 4 classes, we'll be exploring different ways of moving every part of our body using the support and the aid of a chair. The wonderful thing about chair yoga is that it's suitable for practically everybody and anyone. I'll be showing you ways to move safely that are going to help to build your flexibility and mobility while also bringing balance and well-being to yourself mentally, emotionally and physically. So all you're going to need is a chair. Slip off your shoes and make sure that you're dressed comfortably, so remove any belts or anything that might restrict your movement at all. In an ideal world, we'd have a chair that doesn't have any armrests, that's going to maybe get in your way when you're moving. But if that's the only chair that you have available to you, then that's okay. We'll learn to work around it. We also would ideally like to have the kind of chair that allows us to have our feet flat on the ground. So you can see that the chair I have is pretty good for me. All parts of my foot are currently touching the floor. If it was the case for you that your chair was a bit too high for you and maybe your feet were hanging in the air, or if your knees were quite a lot lower than your hips, what you could do is maybe prop something under your feet, so as a way of bringing the floor up towards you. For those of you that are used to practicing yoga, you might have some of these blocks handy. So if you needed to lift and elevate the feet, you could pop a block under each one. And if you don't have a block, you could use books or boxes or anything that you might have around the house that's going to give you a flat and firm surface underneath the whole length of your foot. So just have a look at the chair that you're in. See if you can bring your feet to the floor and ideally have your knees in line with your hips. I've also popped a little blanket on the top of my chair just to make it a bit more comfortable, because this is quite a hard and firm one. If you had an uneven chair as well, you might need to do the same just to balance it out so that you're sitting on a really even surface. So if you need to, hit pause and just gather everything that you need. You might want to have a blanket towards the end of the session as well that you can use during the relaxation part of the class. So the first thing that we're going to look at is how to sit in our chair. So I'm actually going to turn my chair sideways so that you can have a good view. So as I mentioned, I'm going to have my feet flat on the floor. I'm also going to sit a little bit away from the back of the seat because we actually want to use our back muscles and our core muscles to keep us upright. So we're looking to have the knees in line with the hips, the shoulders above the hips, so you see how you can have a nice tall back that way. What we want to avoid is slouching back or rounding the spine or tucking our tailbone underneath us. So tilting a little bit forward in your pelvis, letting your shoulders settle somewhere above the hips and keeping a little bit away from the back of the seat. This is going to feel like a bit more effort than it would be maybe the way you normally sit in your chair. So the practice of yoga is one of awareness and being really present. So I'm going to give you plenty of reminders about your posture and to keep coming back into this really neutral position that we're going to start out in. Have your feet about hip width apart, so your knees are separated as well. And then once you've found that spot where your shoulders can settle over your hips, you're sitting up nice and tall. And then just let your head settle somewhere above your heart, so you're not dropping the chin or letting the head drop at all. We'll let the hands rest on the knees or on the thighs or in the lap. And let your shoulders soften. So before we start to move, we're going to settle into our breath a little bit. So the breath is a really important component of our yoga practice. And much like the reminders that I'll give you to come back into this neutral position of presence, I'm going to give you lots of reminders as well about your breath. So you can perhaps close your eyes or just let your gaze fall down towards the floor. Feel your feet on the earth, or if you've got blocks or something underneath them, just feel that contact. And then allow yourself to sit tall. And at the same time now, just let there be a little bit of softness. So even though it does take a little bit of effort for you to sit upright, we'll invite that bit of ease and softness into our body too, so that we can relax our forehead, our cheeks, our jaw. And now begin to notice your breathing. And all we're going to look to do is have an even inhale and an even exhale. So balancing out the breath. Now, if it's possible today, try to breathe in and out through your nose, keeping your jaw and your mouth nice and relaxed. And just guide your breath now, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And you're simply seeking out a steady, easy pace, one that you're going to be able to keep coming back to. And the more that you practice your yoga, the easier it'll become to keep and maintain that steady breath. When we first start out, it can be a little tricky to link the movements that we're doing and maintain the steady breath at the same time. So if it's your first time practicing today, don't get too bogged down with the breath. I'll give you lots of reminders. But what you'll find is that the more you repeat these sessions, the more you come back to your yoga, the easier that breath will become, the more natural it will feel. So let's take 5 more breaths now before we start to move, just getting really comfortable with that steady pace. And then on your next inhalation, you can start to open your eyes. Exhale. And then ever so simply, we're just going to take the right hand into the air. So as you inhale, reach your right hand up. So keep sitting tall now. Keep your feet nice and firm on the floor. You might even push down a little bit to start to activate the legs. Reach up through those right fingertips, lifting up as high as you can. And then as you exhale, just bend that right elbow, bring the hand all the way back down. Let's do the left. So we're going to bend the elbow, reach the fingertips up, feet pushing them down, feel your legs engaging, lift up through the left arm, through the side of the waist. And then exhale and bring the hand down. We're going to take both hands up now. So big inhale, let's sweep the arms forward and up. So really finding length now. Length through the arms, through the waist, lifting up through the top of your head. And then you can exhale and let your hands come all the way back down. So after inviting that bit more energy into your body, maybe you feel a little more awake, a little more ready to keep moving now. So what we're going to do is going to work from our feet upwards, activating each part of the body. So Keep sitting tall, check in with your posture where you can. And now very simply, all we're going to do is lift the heels. So you can keep your toes on the floor, keep the balls of the feet on the floor, and lift the heels. So we're stretching the front of the legs. And then as you exhale, you're going to lower your heels all the way back down. So let's try it again. Inhale, lift the heels, toes stay on the floor. And exhale, lower the heels down. One more time. Inhale, lift the heels. And exhale to lower the heels down. Now we're going to see what it's like to keep the heels on the floor, keep the balls of the feet on the floor, and just lift the toes. So only the toes lifting now. Toes lifting up. And then exhale and bring the toes down. Again, inhale, lift the toes. And exhale, lower them down. One more time. Lifting the toes. And exhale, let the toes come all the way down. Moving a little more into our ankles now. So I'm going to leave the left foot where it is. I'm going to take the right leg heel a little forward. So depending on the distance between your leg and the floor, you might be bringing the heel to the floor, or you might just let the heel stay a little bit off the ground. And we're going to point the toes away. So I'll turn just to make sure you can see. So we're going to point the toes away. And then we're going to draw the toes back towards us. So you're going to feel that big stretch in the back of the leg. So point the toes away. And then draw the toes towards you. Last time. And then you can bend your knee, bring your foot back to the mat. Opposite side. So again, you can keep your heel down on the floor, or you can have the leg a little lifted. This is going to be a bit more challenging, so just see where you want the heel to be. And we're going to point the toes away. And draw the toes back. So the higher you have your leg, the more challenging it is. So if it's too intense, just lower the leg a little. So point the toes away. And then draw the toes back towards you. Last time. And then back to center, we're going to bring both feet to the floor. And to check in with our posture now, just in case we've sunk down, we're going to sit up tall, sweep both arms forward and up, reach up, push your feet down into the floor. Take one breath here. And then exhale, and you can lower all the way back down. So coming back into our feet, so let's lift the right leg, or the right heel. So it needs to be a little bit off the floor now, and we're just going to circle our ankle around, really getting the blood flowing down in this region, enhancing our mobility. So we just go a few times one direction, circling the ankle, and then we go the other way around. Change direction. Sitting up tall all the time. And then back to center, bring that right foot to the mat. And then we'll extend the left leg. So same thing now, just circling the ankle. Remember, the lower you keep the leg, the less intense it will be. If you have the leg too high, it's going to be really hard work. We want to really just isolate that ankle movement. And then change direction. So go the other way around. That's it. And then we'll bring our foot back to the mat. We'll sit tall. Make sure you're not too far back your chair now. We want to be a little bit forward. I'm going to lift up the right leg now. And this time I'm going to bring the knee close towards the chest. So you can bring your hands under the back of your thigh to give you a little hand. Bring the knee in. And you can hold here, this is great for your hip. And perhaps as you inhale, extend your leg out. So this time we're keeping the leg up in the air. And then we're going to exhale, draw the knee in. And inhale, extend the leg out. I'm going to show you what that looks like from this side as well. We're going to do it one more time. So inhale, knee comes in, sitting tall. Exhale and extend. And then we're going to bring the foot back to the mat. And we'll switch sides. So we're going to draw the knee in. And hold it there, sit up tall. And then with an inhale, extend the leg out. And then exhale, hug in that knee. And inhale and extend. One more time. And then you can bend your knee and bring your foot all the way back to the mat or the floor. You might not be using a mat underneath you, it's not necessary. So both feet on the floor now. We'll go a little more into those hips. So right leg, so we're going to lift the leg a bit again. So make sure you're sitting tall. I'm going to bring the hands under the back of the thigh. This time I'm just going to lift the foot just a little bit, just a few inches. And I'm going to gently take my leg from side to side. So you're keeping the ankle under the knee as you just gently allow your leg to move from side to side. And it could be a tiny little movement. For some of you, you might start to make slightly bigger movements. Just really nurturing that right hip joint. And then the hip might be starting to get a little tired now, so we're going to bring the foot back to where it was. Take a pause. And we'll do the other side. So lifting up the foot just a few inches, not terribly high, and then just rocking that leg side to side. So you can use your one hand or both hands. Very slow, so don't be in a rush. And then we're going to come back to the center and bring the foot all the way back down. Close your eyes now. We'll take a pause. And we'll just tune in. Maybe you can feel a little warmer in your lower body or a little more energized. Sometimes we might even feel a little more fatigued. We might not be used to using some of those muscles, so it can take a while for them to waken up. But know that with these movements, we're building strength and resilience as well as our flexibility. So again, the more we practice, the easier it all becomes. So let's move into the upper body a little more now. We'll let the lower body settle. So you keep your knees hip width apart, keep your feet on the floor. And then we'll sit tall, relax your shoulders, relax your face, relax your jaw. And simply moving the head now and the neck. So we're going to let the chin drop down towards the chest, just stretching the back of the neck. And then as you inhale, begin to lift your chin, drawing it upwards, taking care not to throw your head all the way back. So keep a bit of space at the back of the neck. And then exhale, let your chin lower down towards your chest. So inhale to lift the chin, jaw relaxed. And exhale, lowering, dropping the chin. Last one now. I'm going to lift the chin. And as we exhale, we'll come back to center. We're going to change the movement now. So looking over your right shoulder, so turning the head nice and slow. Keep your shoulders where they are, just turning now towards the right. Inhaling back to center and then turning towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we'll turn to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the left. We're going to go one more time for each side. And now come back to center. We'll change it up again now, changing the movement. Keep sitting tall, and we're going to let the right ear drop towards the right shoulder. So you're stretching the side of your neck now. Both shoulders are down, both shoulders are relaxed. And then head comes back to center, and we let the head tilt to the opposite side. Inhale back to center, keep going. So up to you, you can have your eyes opened or closed. And then just remember, not only for this movement, but all the ones that we're doing, if you feel you need to skip anything or take a break from what we're doing, then just simply pause. So always listening to the signals that your body is giving you. So last one, over to the left in your own time. And then let's slowly come back towards the center, head over the heart. And we're going to circle our shoulders now. So arms pretty relaxed. We're going to lift up the shoulders, take them up towards the ears, and then draw them back, down and around. And don't forget to breathe while you're moving. So inhaling perhaps as your shoulders come up. And exhaling as the shoulders go down and around. A lovely way to release and remove tension from our upper body. Let's go the other way now. So just changing direction so that your shoulders come forward, down, back and around. Couple more rotations. And then on the next breath, just allow your shoulders to settle, perhaps closing your eyes. Let the arms settle. I'm going to move the arms now, so this time taking them out wide. So bring your arms out to the sides, turn your palms up, reach the arms all the way over the head, and then see if your palms will come together, and we'll bring the hands down through the center of the body. So inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, bringing the hands back down. And again, inhaling, arms up, and exhale, bringing the hands all the way down to the heart center. And then I'm going to separate the hands now. So if your arms or your shoulders are a little fatigued, then keep the elbows in by your ribs, or you can bring the arms up at shoulder height. So either here or here, and then we're going to bring the thumbs into the palms and then the rest of the fingers in. I'm just going to circle the wrists. So nice and slow, don't be in a rush. Your arms are staying still, and it's just the wrists and the fists that are moving around. And then go the other direction. So we always want to bring balance to the body, so we go both directions. So these little circular movements that we did them for the shoulders, we're doing them now for the wrists, we did them for our ankles as well. These are just great for keeping the blood flowing, keeping the joints lubricated so that we maintain our mobility. Not just for our yoga practice, but for when we're out doing our day-to-day tasks in daily life. So you can release the fists then, you can bring the hands down, you can Close your eyes or look to the floor. We take a pause. And now maybe you'll notice that the upper body feels a little warmer, a little tingly, or a little more awakened. And we're going to move into the spine now. So such an important component of our yoga practice are our movements for the spine. And we want to take our spine in every direction that it can go. So check your posture now. Both feet on the floor, shoulders over the hips. And I'm going to take my hands down by the sides of the chair now. So I'm just lightly touching the chair legs with one hand either side. If you had armrests in the way, maybe there's a gap that the hands will fit through. Just be mindful. You could always, for this one actually, you could have the arms on the armrest. Just keep it even. What I mean by that is that both arms are doing the same thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bend towards the left hand side. So I'm going to slide my hand down the left leg. So if you've got the arm on the armrest, you can also just hinge or tilt to the side. And you'll find that we're opening space here in the right waist, in the ribs. And then we're going to inhale back to center and we'll exhale and we'll tilt to the other side. We'll just pause for a breath on each side. And we'll do it again. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Tilting over. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Take a breath here then. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. So you can keep going just like that. Or we can enhance it a little. So now I'm going to take my right hand up and into the air. And then as I exhale, I'm tilting to the side. So I'm getting a slightly deeper stretch now. And then I'm going to inhale back to center. Bring the right hand down. Take the left arm up into the air. Inhale. And then exhale. I'm tilting to the side. Taking a lovely deep breath into that left side. And then inhale back to center and exhale and bring both hands down. Both hands back to the thighs or the knees. So coming to twist next. So you're going to keep the legs where they are. I'm going to take my right arm around the back of the seat. So just bringing it around. So hopefully you don't have a really high back. If you have a high back, it's probably best to come a little bit forward in the chair. See if you can bring your hand towards the back of the seat. Or wrap it around. If you've got the lower back, you can hopefully wrap your arm around the chair. And so we're going to take the left hand over onto the thigh or the knee. And then sitting up nice and tall. And exhaling, twisting. So you're turning your chest to the right. Maybe you're turning your head to the right as well. You might even be looking back over your right shoulder, bringing this twist into your neck as well. We're going to hold there for 3 breaths. And then inhale, come back to center. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. So we're going to go to the other side now. So you're taking your left arm towards the back of your chair or the back of your seat. And then we'll bring right hand to the thigh or the knee. Keep the knees apart. Sit up tall. And then twisting and turning to the left. Inhale, head back to center. Let's do one more time each side, just for good measure. So we're twisting now to the right. So getting a little more familiar with this movement. So at the same time as twisting, we want to sit tall, so we're not collapsing down. And you can turn your head, you turn the neck. Breathe through the nose. Inhale, head back to center, and then exhale and twist to the left. 3 breaths here. Inhale, now head back to the center. And we're going to come to fold over our legs. So here we want to be very mindful of our back. So if anyone has any back issues or lower back discomfort, you're going to bring your forearms onto your thighs and then just stay there. You're not going to go any deeper. If you're okay in your back, you can slide your hands down your legs and draw your abdomen closer to your thighs. If you're pregnant like me, you're also going to be doing the first version, keeping your forearms on your thighs, keeping lots of space for your baby. So the great thing about yoga is that we can all adapt it to wherever we are. And the most important thing is that you're listening all the time to your body. Any little signs of pain, you're going to back right out of it, you're going to stop straight away. After a breath or two in this fold, you're going to inhale and start to sit up tall again. And it's time to take the hands to the back of the chair. So I'm going to hold either side. Let the elbows draw back and lift the chest now. So the opposite. So the last one we were folding forward. Now we want to open the front of the body. So lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, maybe lift the chin a little. And take 3 breaths here. Lovely expansion. Great for your posture. And after your 3 breaths, you can exhale, come back to center. So come back to your neutral position. So you've got your ankles under your knees, shoulders over your hips. And so we're going to do something now called the sun salutations. We're doing a chair version. So the first few rounds we're all going to stay seated in the chair. I'm going to show it to you first just so you have an idea of how it's going to look. So I'll show you from this side because that can give you a really good visual. So on the inhale, we're going to be taking our arms wide and lifting them up over the head. On our exhale, we're going to hinge from our hips. So from the hips, not the back, and you're going to start to fold forward. So you're going to come into that fold like we did a moment ago. Then, either with your hands on your shins or your forearms on your thighs, you're going to be lifting your chest. So you're arching your back, you're lifting your chest. And then anyone with any back issues, you're going to stay in that lifted position. If you're all right, you can exhale and you can fold deeper over your legs. Then we're going to push into our feet and take the arms out wide and lift the arms all the way over the head. Coming back to where we started, exhaling, bringing the hands down. So I'm going to guide you through, so you don't need to have that memorized or anything, don't worry. So just what's important is you keep your feet hip width apart all the time. And we also want to use our legs. So even though we're sitting in the chair, it doesn't mean that the legs aren't getting an opportunity to strengthen and build their flexibility and mobility as well. So in the case of the sun salutes now, we just want to keep the feet firm on the ground. Feel the heels, the toes, every part of the foot on the mat. So you can push down a little into your feet now. Feel your legs engaging. And then on your inhale, take your arms out wide. Lift the arms over the head. And then as you exhale, start to hinge forward from your pelvis, from your hips. Bring the arms down, so either your forearms onto your thighs or your hands onto your shins. From there, then lift your chest. So you can have hands on the shins, the knees, or the thighs. Lift the chest, draw the shoulders back. And then you can stay there, or if you're all right in your back, you can exhale, fold deeper. And then reconnecting with the feet now, push down into your feet. Inhale, up we come. Take the arms out to the sides, lift up. And exhale, release back down. So stay as you are. We're going to do it another couple of times. So feet nice and firm. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, hinge forward, fold down. So hands on your shins or forearms on your thighs. On your inhale, lift your chest. So heart moves forward, shoulders move back. Now stay there or exhale and fold deeper over your legs. Inhale, then push down into your feet. Take your arms wide. Lift all the way back up. Exhale and bring the hands down. So let's do it one more time together. Inhale, arms wide, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale, come into that lift, the chest open, the shoulders back. Stay there or fold deeper, take your exhale. And now rooting into your feet, into the floor, push down as you lift up. Arms up. And then exhale, bring your arms all the way back down. So hands at your sides now, or rest them on your thighs or your knees, and you can look down or close your eyes and just let all that movement just settle in your body. So the sun salutes help to build our energy, they can revitalize us, and of course they're wonderful for the upper body, for the back, and in the next session we'll have a go at doing them from standing as well, so we'll get a little more into the legs too. So just finding your breath, finding your center once again. We'll do a couple more poses and then we'll head towards our relaxation, which is the bit everyone's always waiting for. So both feet now are hip width apart, and what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the left knee. I'm going to take the leg out to the side, so you might be just bringing it out at an angle. For some of you, you might be able to bring it all the way out to the side so your knee points out to the left. So just pay attention to that hip, see where your comfort level is. You're going to have your ankles under your knees. So wherever you place your foot, try to have that 90-degree angle. And then we're going to bend the left elbow. Bring the forearm onto the thigh. Let your palm face up. And we'll take the right arm up and into the air. Now, if there's anything going on with the shoulder, you feel like you've done enough in your arms today, you can always have your right hand on your hip instead. So see where you want to be. We'll spend 3 breaths here. And then try to keep the legs where they are now. We're going to lift the upper body. So shoulders come back over your hips. And you can either pop your hands on your hips with the elbows pointing out, or you can bring your arms up at shoulder level. So this is a warrior pose. And then you can look out the same direction as your chest, or turn your head and look over your left fingertips. Remember to keep breathing, just 2 more breaths. And then we're going to let the hands come down, nice and slow. Now gently bring in that left leg and we'll switch sides. So bring your left knee back in front of your hip and we'll take the right leg out to the side. So just again being mindful of your own body, see where your comfort level is today. Ankles under the knees, sit up tall. Taking our side bend first now, so bending into that right elbow, forearm on the thigh, hand on your hip then, or up over your head. 3 steady breaths. And then we're going to lift up, so into the warrior now. So either hands on your hips, shoulders down, or arms up. And you can look over your right fingertips now. Lovely relaxed jaw, breathing effortlessly. Even if we start to feel a little fatigued or like things are a little challenging, we just try to keep that easy breath. And then we're going to take the hands down. Gently, gently bring in that right leg. And then one more time, we're going to sweep the arms up over the head and then let yourself come forward and down. So real fluffy now, a bit like a rag doll. You can rest your forearms on your thighs or your hands on your shins. Drop your head. You can close your eyes. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. Feel yourself softening a little. And allow yourself 3 long breaths now. Focusing a little more on your exhale, a little more on slowing down. And then in your own time, just roll up, come up into sitting. We're going to move towards relaxation now. So we've done all the hard work. We've moved every part of our body without even having to stand up. How amazing is chair yoga? I'm sure you can feel that the whole body has worked. So let's take our rest. So if you like, you can actually lie on the floor if you wish, if you have the space. Alternatively, stay in your chair. But now we want to make it a little more restful, so you're welcome to move back into the support of the seat. You might find that you want to put a cushion. Obviously I can't with this chair, but I assume that your chair has a proper back to it. You might be able to put a cushion behind your back if you like a little bit of support. Again, your feet can stay resting. You might wrap up in a blanket. We're just going to be here for a few minutes, but it's nice to stay warm. Or if you want to lie down, you can lie all the way down onto the floor. Maybe a cushion under your head or a couple of pillows under the backs of your legs. So find a position now that doesn't require any effort, where you feel supported. And pick a good spot for your hands to rest. So as I said, all the efforts are done now. So you can rest your hands on your thighs or in your lap, or if you're down on the floor, maybe out by your sides. You can close your eyes. And just invite a wave of relaxation to run through your body now. And just for the first few minutes, we'll pay attention to our breath. And we're going to practice something called samavriti breathing, or even breath. Sometimes you come across this, it gets called square breathing or box breathing. But we'll just focus on our inhale and our exhale today. And it's ever so simple. You're just encouraging a slightly deeper breath. And you're going to see if you can send your breath into the back of your body. So inhaling now, breathing into the back, into the ribs, and into the chest. And then as you exhale, let your chest soften, let your ribs soften, allow the back to soften. Inhaling, breathing into the back, into the ribs, into the chest. Exhaling, softening the chest, softening the ribs, softening the back and the shoulders. And it can be helpful to count, so if it works for you, you can count so that the breath is really, really even. So you can count for anything, 3, 4, 5, even 6. I usually start from a count of 4, but everyone's different, so see what length works for you. But if you're using 4, it'll go a little like this. So next breath, breathing in for 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And keep going now. Let's do a minute of this breathing. Really conscious, really aware of each breath and letting the body stay soft. As if each exhale that you take now lets all the tension melt away. And then at a certain point, you can relax all efforts. Let any counting drop away. And let go of any desire or need to control your breath now. Just let it be. And let your arms become a little heavier. Soften your right shoulder, elbow, wrist and hand. Soften your left shoulder, elbow, wrist and hand. As you let go of that breath, the natural, easy breath will just continue to flow. So you can soften your abdomen, relax your hips, your knees, your ankles, your feet. And as you let your attention and your awareness draw inwards now, invite that same softness into your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your ears, your throat, even your tongue, so that your whole body is at ease now. Your whole body. And for a few minutes, we're just going to sit here or lie here and just simply be, just simply rest, soak up all the benefits of the practice that you've done today. So I'll be a little quiet now, but just know that I'm still here. And in a few minutes, I'll ring a singing bowl, and that'll be our signal to start to reawaken and come back. But for now, just simply resting. Just simply being. When you're ready, take a deeper breath and start to bring your attention back to your body. As each breath deepens a little more, feeling a little more alert, a little more awake. Maybe giving a wriggle of your fingers and toes. A little turning of your head from side to side as you come back now into a more everyday state of your awareness. And perhaps we'll take one last stretch together so you can reach your arms over your head, lengthening, lifting up, wide awake, reawaken once again. And then we'll let the hands come all the way back down. Eyes opening, ready to continue with your day or your evening. So thank you for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you for session number 2 and practicing lots more chair yoga.